How's it read? How's it read?
It's weird. Yeah.
Yeah. My only one was the increase of 15 minutes.
I saw the revised version. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, that's okay.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the October 27, 2025 meeting of the Metuchen Borough Council. Adequate notice of this meeting has been given in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act pursuant to Public Law 1975, Chapter 231. Said notice was published in the Home News Tribune on December 18, 2024, posted in Borough Hall and on file in the clerk's office. All requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act have been satisfied. Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please. Ms. Supan?
Councilmember Branch. Councilmember Jamboy.
Here.
Councilmember Hyman.
Here.
Councilmember Jethwani.
Here.
Councilmember Kandel.
Here.
Council President Delia.
Here.
Mayor Bush.
Here. Okay. Do I have a motion to open the agenda session?
I make a motion to open the agenda session.
Been a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, seeing none, our agenda session is now open. Is there anything, Council President?
I have nothing today, Mayor.
Council members, anything? All right, seeing none, is there a motion to close the agenda
I
session?
make a motion to close the agenda session.
There's been a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, we're on to public comment. Anyone from the public wishing to address the Borough Council? If you could come to the microphone and just give your name and address for the record. Go ahead, sir. Just name and address for the record. Yeah. You can go next. Yeah, go. It's okay. It's okay.
My name is Raja Nadarajan. I'm living in 21 Lowell Avenue, Metuchen. I do have an issue that I'm looking for some resolution. Whenever any school sports activity happening, during the time, the driveway completely, the Lowell parking is full. I'm not able to go inside the home or coming out. It's really crowded. Both sides it's get parked. And yesterday, or day before yesterday, there was there was a school bus came and knocked my bush in my property. And I called the police, and police told me, come and talk to you guys like today and see is there anything that you guys can help me to do no parking or one side parking or anything that can help on
Okay,
that one.
so are those your comments for tonight?
Sorry?
Are those your comments? Is there anything
Yes.
else you have? Okay. So the first thing I'll say, I think there's two separate issues here. There's one with respect to parking. Obviously, you have some concerns about parking. What I would suggest is to put it into an email and send it to me or our borough administrator, and we can make sure that our chief of police gets it, and they can do some sort of evaluation of the parking circumstances in your neighborhood. But it's better to have it in an email so you can explain it in more detail, or whatever it is that's concerning you and or your neighbors. That would be really helpful. Okay? So that's number one. The other issue with respect to your bush, and if you say that a bus hit your bushes and damaged your bushes, then that's a call that I would, obviously the police were the right way to go there, but I would also make a phone call perhaps to the school district, because if a bus came and it was not a Metuchen bus, it was a bus for maybe a visiting program, visiting school, then the school district's the one who might know who it was, might be able to help address that. And obviously, that could be something that you contact the school district, or the school district helps you, our school district helps you contact that school district, and you might be able to get some sort of, repair done on the bushes, which I'm sorry that happened. I mean, those things are very frustrating as a homeowner. I know firsthand, so. Thank you. So I appreciate you coming. Email would be really great, and then we can forward on to our chief of police. Our police would then do some sort of evaluation and follow up with you, okay? Thank you. Yeah, and email addresses are on the website, but it's jbush@metuchen.com, JBUSCH @metuchen.com, and Melissa Perlstein, our borough administrator, is M. Perlstein, PERILSTEIN @metuchen.com, and you can find emails also on the website, okay? Thank you very much. Any other comments? Yes, I'm sorry about before. Just name and address for the record, please.
Good evening. My name is Susan Schweffringhaus of Metuchen Friends and Neighbors at 10 Station Place. I've been a proud member of St. Luke's Episcopal Church here in Metuchen for 38 years, and my son was fortunate to attend St. Joe's and graduated in 2011.
Susan, for 1 second, can you come a little closer to the microphone so we can hear you?
Okay.
And you can tilt it down, I think, a little, can you? Oh, there you go. Perfect. We just want to be able to hear you better.
Like that?
You're doing great. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Continue when you're ready.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
He graduated in 2011. I'm also the mother of a wonderful daughter, Kathleen, who has special needs. I'm here tonight to speak in strong support of the Affordable Housing Resolution. For families like mine, this isn't just policy, it's deeply personal. Supportive housing means stability, dignity, and the chance for people to remain part of the community that loves and supports them. We all know it takes a village, and Metuchen is a warm and inclusive community. I would like to thank the mayor, our borough administration, and our town council for supporting this resolution and for your meaningful impact on our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. We appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Good evening. My name is Melinda Bosworth, and I am a Metuchen resident. First, I'd like to thank the mayor, council, and everyone involved in supporting this resolution. Your commitment to inclusive, affordable housing reflects the compassion and vision that make Metuchen such a special place to live. My family moved here in early 2018, and my son, who has special needs, attended Metuchen High School. From the start, we were struck by how warm and welcoming this community is. The teachers, students, and neighbors made us feel at home. Metuchen truly lives its values of inclusion and belonging. That's one of the many reasons why projects like the one at 266 Middlesex Avenue are such a natural fit here. Our walkable design, accessible infrastructure, and accessibility and proximity to public transportation make Metuchen an ideal place for residents of all abilities to live independently and stay connected. Metuchen also offers meaningful opportunities for employment, volunteering, and community participation, the kinds of things that help every person feel valued and able to contribute. Across New Jersey, there's a tremendous need for affordable, supportive housing for adults with special needs. With this initiative, Metuchen can continue to lead by example, showing what it looks like when a community not only welcomes everyone, but also ensures that everyone has a place to call home. Thank you for your leadership and for continuing to make Metuchen a model of inclusion and compassion.
Thank you very much. Hi, Grace. Name and address for the
Good
record,
evening.
please. Thank you.
Hello. Grace Shackney, 110 Columbia Avenue. I also want to speak in favor of this resolution. Too often municipalities pay lip service to this affordable housing, especially when it comes to adults with disabilities. And I'm proud that this borough is taking decisive action on that front tonight. In addition to addressing the issue in this town, projects like this, they serve as models to other towns. So once again, Metuchen is on the forefront of this issue. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. It's falling into a pattern here. So my name is Karen Stubis. I've lived with my family in Metuchen for 41 years at 20 Aldrich Avenue. I also would like to speak in support of the resolution with regard to the affordable housing project for special needs adults. First, I would like to commend and thank, as others have, the mayor, Mayor Bush, Borough Administrator Melissa Perelstein, thank you very much, and all the members of the Borough Council for supporting this project, for your leadership in supporting inclusive housing for adults with disabilities in our town. There's a dearth of such housing, both in New Jersey and across the country, as you know, and I'm really proud, having lived in Metuchen for so long, that Metuchen is once again in the vanguard and showing the way, demonstrating its care, compassion, and commitment to its residents. Metuchen is ideally suited for such housing. We are small, compact, and friendly with an active community spirit. And very important to the needs of the disabled of all kinds, Metuchen is pedestrian-friendly with accessible shops, sidewalks, and restaurants. We have medical providers right here in town, a pharmacy, wonderful Boy Drugs, right on Main Street, and a wonderful and accessible town plaza, which I think has really added to the town life and community life, which offers a myriad of activities throughout the year, which is accessible to our family members. All of these features promote independence and inclusion and a feeling of acceptance for our disabled residents and for the members of their families, such as me. My daughter is disabled. The ready availability of public transportation in Metuchen, both rail and bus, makes it possible for our family members to have access to the surrounding area for healthcare needs, entertainment, and if they are able, employment. Finally, downtown Metuchen itself, which has won awards, with its compact design and friendly spirit, offers a wealth of opportunities for the adult disabled to work, volunteer, or otherwise engage in the community in meaningful ways that enrich their lives, but also importantly, the lives of those around them. For all of these reasons and more, I heartily support this resolution, and again, thank you so much for supporting it and for supporting our family members. Thank you most sincerely. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate all these comments tonight. Yes, just name and address for the record. And if you want to, unlike some people who've, I guess, brought the microphone down, if you want to bring it up, feel free, yes. The other one's a little taller, I think, unless it's,
Okay.
that's okay. Just name and address for the record, whatever you want.
I am Marty Indick. I've lived at 427 Middlesex Avenue in Metuchen for 26 years. I have a law office in Metuchen, and I am very proud that Metuchen has contributed towards its obligation for affordable housing proactively and not reluctantly, and I am particularly proud that our fair share will include supportive housing for adults with developmental disabilities because there is such a large unmet need. This is a cause I've been involved in since a long time before my son was born, with needs of supportive and with developmental disabilities and special needs. His need for supportive housing is only going to grow more urgent as my wife and I get older, and we are very grateful to the Borough of Metuchen for contributing to that support with this resolution. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
I am Barbara Crafton, a member of the clergy staff of St. Luke's Episcopal Church and a Metuchen resident for 45 years. I never thought, at my age, that I would have a roommate. But when a parishioner and dear friends died, leaving her developmentally disabled son with nowhere to live, I was able to welcome Tommy into my Woodmont apartment, which he has called home for almost 2 years now. It is important that he live close to Campbell School, where he is a janitor. Some of your children may know Mr. Tommy because he's worked there for 11 years. Our disabled neighbors need to contribute to the community just as we do. I am excited by the possibility that when I die, Tommy will not again be left homeless. I salute you for thinking ahead in this compassionate way.
Thank you, Ms. Crafton.
My name is Geraldine Hearn. I live at 427 Middlesex Avenue with my family for over 26 years. We have raised our son with special needs with the help of our kind and caring town. I'm here tonight in strong support for this resolution. I want to take a moment to express my deepest gratitude for your support and leadership in this initiative. You are truly making a significant difference in the lives of individuals and their families, providing them with the opportunity to live and participate in our community. Our town's charm and walkability makes it a perfect place for adults with special needs to thrive. A heartfelt thank you for making our town a welcoming and supportive place for everyone, regardless of ability. You foster a culture of empathy, understanding, and kindness that benefits all, and that's why I'm so very proud to call Metuchen my home. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Meredith. I'm speaking on behalf of my little brother Barry, who resides at 427 Middlesex Avenue here in Metuchen. When kids with special needs age out of the school system, families are left asking, what happens next? Across New Jersey, families often wait decades for care services and appropriate residential options. The need is real and it's urgent, especially for the 20,000 New Jersey families affected by profound autism. Tonight's resolution shows compassion, leadership, and community in action. By supporting this project, Metuchen is proving that inclusion can be built into the very foundation of our neighborhoods. We thank this administration for making supportive housing a priority tonight and in future developments going forward. Thank you.
Thank you. I just want to thank everyone. Okay, well, they can keep coming if you want.
You're right.
Meredith, I want to thank you and this group for your extraordinary leadership on this issue. There's a lot of education that was done. We had a couple of meetings with a number of you over the last year or so as we sort of wrestled with the issue generally. I want to thank our borough administrator for her leadership in ushering this through. But the idea with all of this is to provide support through funding that has to be spent somewhere. And so what better way to do it than to support our community and those with some of the most needs in our community. And obviously, it's true what you say about this place, because it's our job as a local government to reflect the priorities of the community we serve. And, sometimes it takes bringing things to our attention to understand what people are thinking, what's possible, and then what we can do. And, there are many ways that our hands are tied as government officials. There's a lot of rules and regulations and restrictions on how money is spent and what we can do. But this was one that, required some finesse and interest. And again, I appreciate your leadership on this because you brought it to our attention. We've worked through it and we're not done. Obviously, we're going to continue to work together on these issues, which are really important, not just to you, but to, I think, many people in this community and certainly to us as elected officials. So thank you for coming tonight. We really, really deeply appreciate your words. Any other comments from the community? Anyone else? No? Okay. We're going to close public comment. Council President?
Mayor, I make a motion to approve Borough Council meeting minutes of September 29th, 2025.
Thanks. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Has everyone reviewed the 2025 best practices inventory?
Yes.
Great. Are there any questions with respect to the 2025 best practices inventory? No questions, huh? Council President?
I make a motion to accept the best practices inventory.
Great. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right. On to communications consent agenda.
Just the one. I make a motion to approve communications consent agenda item A.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right. On to ordinances.
Ms. Zupan, would you please read ordinance 2025-18 by title only?
Ordinance 2025-18, ordinance amending Chapter 193 of the Code of the Borough of Metuchen entitled Wreckers and Towers.
I make a motion that ordinance 2025-18 be passed on first reading, published according to law, and a public hearing set down for Monday, November 10th, 2025.
Is there a second?
Second.
Before we do a roll call, if our borough administrator could just quickly give us a,
Yeah. So what this does is,
Overview.
when the borough has to tow, usually this is the interface with our police department, we are putting more stipulations around who can actually be secured for those towing services. We created a radius, Attorney Murphy, I think it was 5 miles, or did we do 6? We kept
6 miles.
6-mile radius that they have to be located in order to get a call. And this is just some housekeeping. The police department had asked to have us take a look at it, and Mr. Murphy did a great job with refining things again and taking a look, because we haven't dusted this one off in a very long time, and it was needed for the operations over on the police department side.
excellent, thank you very much. Okay, so there was a second, I think, before that, and any comments from anyone besides the borough administrator? Okay, roll call, please.
Councilmember Jamboy?
Yes.
Councilmember Hyman?
Yes.
Councilmember Jethwani?
Yes.
Councilmember Candell?
Yes.
Council President Delia?
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right.
Ms. Supan, would you please read ordinance 2025-19 by title only?
Ordinance 2025-19, ordinance amending Chapter 77 of the Code of the Borough of Metuchen entitled Tree Removal and Replacement, creating a tree bank fund dedicated to tree planting and maintenance.
Thank you. I make a motion that ordinance 2025-19 be passed on first reading, published according to law, and a public hearing set down for Monday, November 10th, 2025.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Councilmember Jamboy?
Yes.
Councilmember Hyman?
Yes.
Councilmember Jethwani?
Yes.
Councilmember Candell?
Yes.
Council President Delia?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Great, okay.
And Ms. Supan, would you please read ordinance 2025-20 by title only?
Ordinance 2025-20, ordinance amending Chapter 120 of the Code of the Borough of Metuchen entitled Massage, Bodywork, and Somatic Therapy Establishments.
Thank you. I make a motion that ordinance 2025-20 be passed on first reading, published according to law, and a public hearing set down for Monday, November 10th, 2025.
All right, this one, and do I have a second?
Second.
All right, we got the second, so could we just, the other one was sort of obvious, there's a tree bank, but this one, massage, body work, and somatic therapy establishments. Can you just give us a quick?
Sure. Well, first of all, I want to thank Linda Koskowski, who started this initiative, and also our borough clerk, Deborah Zupan, a while ago. We kept going round and round on this one, and we finally got it. Thank you again, Mr. Murphy, for getting it to execution now. This has to do with putting some more limitations on how many massage parlors are in town in terms of their the location. I think they can't exist within 500 feet of each other moving forward. Obviously, all the ones that are in town right now are grandfathered, but as we move forward, they have to be located at least beyond the 500-foot next to another one of similar massage therapy. It also is increasing our fees, which were way out of whack compared to the rest of the state. Again, it was something that we hadn't looked at in a very long time. Along with that, we also have some stipulations about when you come in to get the permits, because as many of you might know or don't know, these establishments a lot of times have some other activities that go along with them in terms of human trafficking and things like that. And that's not to say anything's happening here in Metuchen, but we just want to put some guardrails up and have a safeguard against things, against some of this in the future. We also are limiting it to, I think, 5 licenses. Am I correct?
Right, with the existing ones being grandfathered.
The existing ones being grandfathered, but in the future, Metuchen will only offer 5 massage licenses going forward. We're a tiny town, and we thought that was adequate based upon all the research that was done. So that's pretty much it.
Okay, great, thank you. So we have the second, so roll
May-
call. Oh,
Mayor,
yes, go
may-
ahead, sorry.
may- Yeah, I
More comments.
appreciate seeing this ordinance and all the work that went into it. I think I also noted that there was a mention of ensuring that the owners or the proprietors had certain licensing behind them and certifications for their operating these facilities. So that tightening, I think, was really, it was good to see that as well. So I appreciate that.
Thank you. One of the things that was Ms. Zupan's really her initiative was when people would come in, because she does all the permitting, the owners would just come in and provide all copies of a driver's license copied or some form of identification, as opposed to the person coming in person to do the request. And so we've changed that as well. They have to come in person, all the masseuses going forward to get licensed.
And, yeah, I also have a question. So some of the things that they mentioned of how the massage should be performed and safeguards and all, how can that be enforced? Maybe it sounds like a silly question.
No, it would be, what would happen is if people would come to us with complaints, and then we have to rework some stuff with our current health department but we're working through that in terms of all types of inspections and stuff. But if somebody had an experience that went against our code or left them uncomfortable in any way, obviously we would report that to the police department, but then also in conjunction, we would take a look at it as well.
Okay. Thank you.
If I may,
Sure.
and one of the things this does is this opens up any permit establishment to, subject to inspections, periodic inspections.
Okay. Excellent. Any other comments? All right. Roll call, please. Ms. Zupan?
Councilmember Jamboy?
Yes.
Councilmember Hyman?
Yes.
Councilmember Jethwani?
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall?
Yes.
Council President Delia?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Excellent. Do you have a report?
I don't.
Okay. Council members, Council President.
Thank you, Mayor. 2 weekends ago, the Traffic and Transportation Committee had a safety walk that started here at Borough Hall and went down Durham Avenue to Central and then back down towards the downtown. Prior to the walk, we had a couple of speakers, including a member of the committee, and our friends at Keep Middlesex Moving were also there. It was put on by the Traffic Transportation Committee, like I mentioned, and it was very well attended. Looking forward to another one in the future at some time, perhaps next year. But it was really great, and I want to thank the police department for helping keep everybody safe that day. And secondly, it's Election Day is right around the corner. In-person voting locations are now open, and they'll be open until November 2nd. The hours are Tuesday to Saturday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., and on this coming Sunday from 10 to 6 p.m. You can vote at any of the early voting locations, but the closest one to us in Metuchen is the Minnie B. Veal Recreation Center, located at 1070 Grove Avenue in Edison. For Election Day proper, here in Metuchen, districts, if you're in a voting district 1, 3, or 10, your polling location has changed. It also changed for the primary election, but I know not everyone necessarily votes in the primary election, so just giving another reminder here. It's the same locations as was for the primary. Please check your sample ballot or contact the borough clerk, Ms. Zupan, at dzupan, D-Z-U-P-A-N, at metuchen.com if you're unsure where to vote. But just to highlight what those changes are, District 1 has moved from the high school to Campbell School. District 3 has moved from the high school to Moss, and District 10 has moved from Campbell to Edgar. The high school is no longer a polling location here in town. And all this can also be found on the Borough website. If you go to the Borough website, look at residents, and under the residents tab, there's voter info, and you can find all this as well. That's my report, Mayor.
Okay, excellent. Councilmember Candell?
Yep, I'm going to try and get through this without coughing. I'm happy to announce that the annual Cookie Walk has been scheduled for December 14th from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., again at the high school. It's literally one of the very best events of the year in Metuchen, and it showcases our charitable spirit at its highest levels. I'll make more announcements at future meetings about the details as they are given to me. We held our first concessionaire open house at the Snack Shack at the pool in early October. We had at least 5 potential vendors come to tour the facility and ask questions regarding the upcoming RFP, which will be issued in early 2026. Based upon the interest at the open house, we are optimistic that we will receive at least one, and hopefully more than one, application in response to the RFP. More news to come next year. And that's all I have.
Excellent. Councilmember Jithwani?
Thank you, Mayor. A couple of items for the library. Tomorrow, Tuesday, October 28th, from 7 to 8 p.m., there'll be a reading and talk with author and longtime resident of Metuchen, Marianne Metuchen. She'll be reading from and signing copies of her new short story collection called That Very Place. Marianne is the author of 4 young adult novelists and was a finalist for the National Book Award. On Wednesday, October 29th, from 3:45 to 4:30 p.m., the library is introducing a new program for kids in grades K through 3rd called Elementary Antics. This month's program has a Halloween stories and crafts theme. And on Saturday, November 1st, at 2:30 p.m., the library is hosting an event called Rank the Desserts, where attendees can taste desserts while learning about ranked choice voting. This is presented by Voter Choice New Jersey, which is a nonpartisan nonprofit organization, and registration is recommended. That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much. Councilmember Hyman?
Thank you, Mayor. Parade Commission is busy planning for the holiday parade, which will take place November 30th. That's Sunday at 4 p.m. I encourage you all to think about groups you can pull together to join us in the parade. Or if you don't have a group, then make sure you have it on your calendar to get out and join us and cheer on the parade and enjoy. The theme this year is Light Up the Night, so it should be quite spectacular. Registration is open. You can find registration on our flyer, which will be on our page if you look to the Parade Commission page. The menorah lighting is scheduled for Wednesday, December 17th, with a snow and rain date of Thursday, December 18th. Again, we welcome the entire community to come share in the menorah lighting with us. It's a very beautiful, special evening. Usually there are treats and snacks and crafts and music, so please join the community in celebrating that night. The rain date for only the tree lighting, if we have to cancel the parade, which happens sometimes, the tree lighting will happen a week later on Sunday, December 7th. The next meeting for the parade committee is Tuesday, November 18th at 7:15 p.m. The CARES Committee is celebrating wonderful success with their Forest Friends program, which is an educational program that was presented by in partnership with Wellspring, and we're looking to bring it to other community young learning centers in Metuchen. Our billboard is up on Route 27. If you notice, it's the Naloxone Saves Lives billboard that was brought to you by CARES. And our member Jason Winhold was able to bring Narcan training to the high school for students who signed up. We're hoping to make that a regular event. Our next meeting for the CARES Committee will be November 13th, Thursday at 7:15 p.m. And our next Board of Health meeting will be in the new year. Don't know the date just yet. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much. Councilmember John Boy?
Okay, the Shade Tree Commission is going to be meeting Tuesday, November 7th at 7 p.m. And we are on the verge of planting 2 memorial trees for families that want to remember their loved ones. And we'll be meeting Tuesday, November 7th at 7 p.m. Now, the Environmental Commission had a really great weekend, the weekend of October 11th. They had a grant for $1,500, and $1,100 of the grant was spent on trees and fence posts, equipment, fencing, etc. They planted 12 trees. They devined invasives, meaning removed all of that ivy that looks like it's so lovely. It is really very bad for the trees. It's an invasive ivy, and it will kill the trees, like start pulling the limbs down, believe it or not. And they fenced areas to kind of improve keeping the invasives out. And they had 11 people, including 2 scouts. And their meeting is coming up. Let me look at my calendar here. November. I can't believe it already. The 19th of November is going to be the next Environmental Commission meeting. Also, the seniors are having many different events going on. They have exercise classes, bingo, art classes, ceramics, card playing. So please check the calendar on the website of the Senior Center, and you can find out all of the great things you can do. And the membership is open for free to Metuchen residents, and there's a cost to people from out of town. And also the First Presbyterian Food Bank. They will be serving 175 families for Thanksgiving. So food is needed to get all these kits together for the families. They need green beans, canned vegetables, other different vegetables, cranberry sauce, stuffing, those little gravy packets, pasta, tomato sauce, especially important, the Jiffy corn muffin mix, and canned or dried beans, cake mix, and soup. So please try to donate what you can, what your budget allows to help them, meet the goal of serving 175 families for Thanksgiving. And that is my report.
All right, thank you. And I think the council president had one more thing.
You're also muted, by the way.
I think the council president had one more
Yes,
thing.
I apologize, everybody. I had one more item that I forgot to mention. And I can't believe I forgot because I'm really excited about this, to make this announcement that we've been working really hard on the master plan, getting that together. And we will be holding our first of many outreaches to the community for the master plan on Wednesday, November 12th. And that's going to be from 6 to 8 p.m. It's going to be at Edgar School Gymnasium. You're going to have a chance to give your input and your feedback on the various vision planning exercises that have been done so far, the climate change survey, Trailhead Park, Hillside Avenue Bike Lane, and a number of other items that are important for us to get feedback from the community. There'll be other announcements before then. There's even another council meeting before then. I'll mention it again. And this is the first of a number of different opportunities for the community to weigh in on the master plan, but sorry that I forgot to mention that.
No problem. And there's a lot going on right now in our borough. So just to juggle a number of things. Tomorrow, we have a remarkable day in our borough's history because we will be breaking ground on the brand-new Metuchen Emergency Services Center, also known as our EMS, also known as our firehouse. This has been something that we've been working on for a very long time, and mayors before me and council members before everyone sitting up here have been working on. And so this is really an extraordinary day tomorrow to finally get shovels in the ground. And so tomorrow we hope you can join us at the One Safety Place, which is the site where our EMS used to be located and eventually will be again located with the fire department. Again, that'll be tomorrow at 11 a.m. and I hope you can join us because that is just really exciting. Number two, we announced last week the $1 million grant that we got for Old Meeser Park. I should say $1 million state allocation for Old Meeser Park, which is something that our state legislators worked really hard to get for us in a very otherwise down budget year. And it's really remarkable. You're sitting up there and you bring them here, you bring the legislators here because you want them to realize, they're under that dome in Trenton, and they're in the Assembly and Senate chambers and their committees and offices, and they don't really get to necessarily see what the impact is for the people that they're serving. And so bringing them here, and the other day, for example, having Rob Kurbinchek and Sterling Stanley and Pat Dignan with all these kids, we had it at 3:30 to make sure there were going to be tons of kids after Campbell and Moss let out. And just the giggling, the shouting, the happiness, it was just while we're giving this press conference, it's a reminder of why we do this. And it was so special to have them there, and I think they really appreciate it. It wasn't long, press conferences can go on, right? We public servants know how to talk, right? But it was about probably 10 or 11 minutes, the entire thing. I don't think tomorrow's going to be particularly long either, but it's what we're doing, and it's how we're doing it. And I want to thank the council very, very much for your advocacy in these projects. And obviously, I want to thank you for, in advance for tomorrow, which is going to be a really special celebration to get those shovels in the ground for something that a lot of you who've lived here for a really long time have been waiting for a good part of the time you've been living here. And finally, we're going to start tomorrow. So that's great on the MESC. Also, Halloween in Metuchen is incredibly special. We're looking forward to that. We're looking at the weather carefully because we know that the trick-or-treaters are a lot happier when they're not being rained on. Some of those costumes are not easy to carry around in the rain, so let's just hope that our trick-or-treaters are treated well by the weather gods there. We are monitoring the impacts of the federal furlough and federal shutdown on residents in Metuchen. We a couple of years ago, I think about 7 years ago, shortly after I first became mayor, we put together a program that was designed to sort of figure out where residents who were being furloughed, who weren't being paid, might be able to get some support. We're also carefully monitoring the end of SNAP benefits. The food aid is going to run out, according to federal officials, on November 1st. So the day after Halloween, that's going to have a very, very big impact. And, for people who think we live in this bubble and nothing can affect us, there's a lot of things we can shield ourselves from that go on with respect to the chaos in Washington, but this is not one. And so we're going to start stepping up some efforts, providing some leadership. I spoke to the superintendent of schools today because 7 years ago they worked with their food provider, Pomptonian, to provide meals to families who had at least one parent who was not getting paid, and we're going to try to do that again. Obviously, you have to work with your food service providers, a private provider, but the school district and we are doing really good work together right now in the interest of the community. So I'm really hopeful that we'll be able to work together on that kind of thing. Also, and the last thing I want to say, with the election around the corner, I think this is our last council meeting before the election. There is unfortunately, and again, we are not in a bubble because a lot of people are getting their news sources and their perspectives from similar places nationally, but there is a lot of election misinformation going on in social media circles and also, even right here in Metuchen. So it's really, really important that we put out correct information like the council president did with respect to the election. The high school is not going to be hosting the elections this year, but Moss, Campbell, and Edgar will. And so our clerk is going to put together a summary of what to expect on election day. That will be actual information, real information. So anybody in the community who's either here today or watching from home, real information is just the most important thing that we as contributing community members can provide, because it's just remarkable how much misinformation there is. And sometimes it's done just because people don't know better, and sometimes it's done actually with some malicious intent. And so whatever the reason, real information, facts are what we deal with here in Metuchen, or we try to deal with here in Metuchen, and we're going to do our best to carry that through. So hope everybody gets an opportunity to vote. Hope everybody has a happy Halloween. Hope everyone can join us either on Facebook Live if you're at work or you're home and you can't get out, or actually at One Safety Place in person, because we'd love to see you at the opening of the groundbreaking. Opening's still 18 months away. The groundbreaking for our Metuchen Emergency Services Center. So that wasn't intended to be pressure on our borough administrator. Timelines are tough. Timelines are tough with us. I'm overzealous with timelines, and she says, relax there, Mayor. So that's what's going on over here. Anyway, with that, we're going to go to new business consent agenda. Council President?
Mayor, I make a motion to approve the new business consent agenda resolutions 2025-256 to 2025-264, one of which is the commitment of funds for affordable housing trusts.
Excellent. Okay. So is there a second?
Second.
Any comments from anyone? Okay. Again, thank you everyone for your hard work. We're about to vote on this. We had a second, so I'm going to say all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Other new business?
I make a motion to approve Resolution 2025-265, authorizing the payment of the bill list in the amount of $4,917,879.10.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Council President?
I make a motion to adjourn.
There's been a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Enjoy, everyone. Take care.